All right, we're going to
How the narrative changed.
continue now with our post-race press conference for today and tonight, I should say. Ally 400, we've now been joined by our race winner, Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Napa Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Congratulations on the win, Chase. We appreciate you spending some time with us. We're going to roll straight into questions for Chase. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll work to get the microphone around, and we'll start with Larry Woody.
Chase, congratulations. How tough was it to maintain your focus during all those stops and starts and delays?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I feel like we've had that a good bit over the last few years since they implemented the lightning thing. So it wasn't. I didn't think it was too difficult.
All right. Mike, go ahead with your question.
Chase, how special is it considering your closest to Nashville, your dad racing at the fairgrounds? Just how special is this for it to be a Nashville
Yeah,
race?
look, I wish we were at the fairgrounds, for the record, but I'm glad we're at least in the market, and this is a cool town. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to race. It's a town that I think embraces us. And we embrace the people that are here, and they stuck it out. I mean, heck, the crowd was still pretty good, I thought, for it to be 11 o'clock at night or whatever, and having started this thing 6 or 7 hours ago. So yeah, I thought we had a good crowd. Appreciate everybody sticking around, and it is close to home for me. So it's hard to win anywhere, but when you win kind of close to home like that, it is pretty special.
And what about after last year's disappointing race and this one?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing was we just struggled here last year, so to have a struggle, a race here a year ago, and then to be able to come back and be as competitive as we were in the second half of the race, I am the most proud of that piece of the puzzle, I think, just to kind of reset and be able to reevaluate and get back going the right direction here.
All right. We'll just start. Yep.
Chase, I know you were talking relative to the fairgrounds a couple years ago saying snooze fest here, but you've been through a couple of races here now. How do you feel like it has stacked up this track when it comes to that, and especially tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the race was terrible tonight. At least we could get up off the bottom and move around, which I thought was encouraging. And I was even more surprised that we still moved up after the sun went down. I thought at that point it was going to be really one lane, and it really wasn't. You could still be in at least a couple different lanes, and it was way more racy than I thought it was, or I thought it would be. That still doesn't mean I prefer this over the fairgrounds and what that could be. I don't want people to get a sour taste about that. It's just that racetrack and the history of that racetrack and its location is just something that we're never going to replicate again. I mean, for the most part, all these facilities that we have are 45 minutes to an hour outside whatever said market is we're trying to reach. If it's Michigan or here, or Atlanta's 30, 45 minutes south of the city, like all these places we go, Homestead's an hour outside Miami, so all these places that we go, you're drawing from an area that is 45 minutes to an hour away. With the fairgrounds, you'd be drawing from an area that's 15 blocks away or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, on that, but it's a hell of a lot closer than it is here, and that's just not something that in today's society you're never going to build a racetrack in a city like that again. So that's why I think as an industry we need to take advantage of that. We don't need to let that place die. I know they built that big soccer stadium right next door, but use that as positivity because the infrastructure is now there to house all the people. Now they have ideas and ways to get people in and out. So it's too good of a place, too good of an opportunity for us to not be utilizing that. In my opinion, I think it'd be the best location and best event of the year if they could pull that off.
Was your fear at the time that since you were going to be racing here that you may not be racing there, when actually it is possible you might?
Yes, for sure. I mean, I still worry about that a little bit, but it sounds like they're at least working on it. Unfortunately, I can't do a ton other than just voice my support for it. And I understand all the different sides of the puzzle there, and I respect that. But selfishly for us, I think it'd be a great event. And look, they're already racing there. Like folks seem to be doing just fine with the races that are going on, and you'd be talking about one big event a year there for us to come and be a part of it. So I think the positives outweigh the negatives, and I think there's a way to be respectful in doing so of the folks that live in the area, and be able to do it in a positive light.
All right, we're going to go to Mark, and then we'll make our way back over here.
Mark Carroll, PRN. I've got two questions. First, Chase, is it enjoyable to win a race where you have some problems, you kind of go off the radar screen? The JGR cars led 250 of 300 laps. They were kind of going like, all right, one of us is going to snag this thing, and then you end up winning. Is it fun to win kind of off the radar?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's fun to win regardless, I feel like. But yeah, I was really proud. Look, proud of a couple things. One, proud of having the past month and a half, 2 months that we've had been horrendous. I've crashed about 10 times, and we've had a lot of stuff happen to end up having bad finishes, and you never want that, especially when it's anytime, whether it's in a string of races or not, you don't want that. Period. So proud to be able to bounce back from a really rough stretch. And then proud to have struggled as bad as we did, as bad as we were at the beginning of the race, to be able to adjust on it, take advantage of the opportunities we had to try to fix it, and then to hit on it, and to be able to execute after we hit on it to finish the event strong is not an easy thing to do. So, our team, I feel like they do a great job when everybody's pulling in the same direction and is executing and doing their jobs to the best of their ability. I feel like we're as good as anybody, and tonight I felt like they really showcased their talents, not just on pit road with our pit stops being really solid, but Alan and Tom making really good adjustments and just staying on top of everything. So it was a good team win.
Speaking of which, as far as the points, you got stage points. You obviously get a big chunk for winning. You're now plus 30 over Chastain, 31 over Blaney, 47 over Kyle. How do you look at that gap with 9 races to go?
Well, I mean, I feel like no gap is safe, right? I mean, we had a pretty big one there at one point, and that can go away in a hurry. So look, you just have to keep bringing strong race cars to the racetrack. You have to keep putting yourself in position to win. When you're battling up front and you have shots to win, the points thing is going to take care of itself. You might be faced, if you can achieve the first part of that, you might be faced with a situation here or there where you have to decide whether or not you want to get stage points or whether you want to try to go for the race win, and those things are, that's just part of the world we live in now with stages, But more so on road courses, I guess, than anything. But the best way to look at it is just try to be fighting for wins, and if we're doing that, I think the points thing will be, it'll kind of take care of itself.
All right, Nate, go ahead.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Chase, the restart where you picked up like 5 positions in like a half a lap or a lap or whatever, I asked Alan about that, and he said that was the point at which he felt like, all right, we've got the car to win this race. We've got to win this race. Your perspective on that, and did you feel like when you made that move, like that was when you knew you had the car to win?
I felt, honestly I felt like our balance was good, at least when we had our penalty and we went to the back. And I was able to run some different lanes that I had not had the ability to run prior to that. And when that ability showed up for me, I thought, okay, now I think we're in the ballpark. And then as the race went on, the restart thing, you put anybody in the right situation and you can look like a hero, right? I don't think there's anything special I did. You can take a car that isn't balanced as well as what ours was tonight and have the right lane choice and the right guys get bottled up at the right time, and you pass 3 or 4 of them, So I don't necessarily think that was the turning point for me. I feel like it was more just a balance thing and feeling like we had got it really close. And then from there, just trying to execute and have good restarts up front and have good pit stops.
You can give yourself some credit, though. Looked like a video game type move.
It worked out. I mean, I feel like a lot of guys do that, when people get bottled up off the corner and you have a head of steam, and the lanes just kind of opened up for me, so it wasn't anything spectacular on my end. I didn't think, just kind of went where the options were.
And following up on the points thing, beyond just having the lead in the point standings, you're also now tied for playoff points lead with Byron and Chastain with 13 playoff points. So do you feel like you're positioned pretty well with all this talk about guys are going to fall out in the first round who we're not expecting? It seems like you're getting a little bit of a cushion. Well,
you want more than that, for sure. I mean, I don't think any cushion is safe, and in the playoff thing unless you have 7 or 6 or 7 wins, like some guys have over the last couple of years. At that point, then you're probably feeling much better about it, But I don't think 2 in just a couple stage wins is gonna give you the confidence to make dumb decisions, in the beginning of the playoffs. So look, I think everybody's vulnerable when the playoffs start, especially as the rounds progress. I mean, we have seen guys with those big cushions not make the last round. So I don't think anything's guaranteed. You certainly want to hedge your bet in that direction as much as you can. And every win helps that. Every stage win helps that. So that's something I want to achieve. We've never really put ourselves in a position like that to where we have a big cushion and, we're able to kind of cruise through rounds. I feel like we've always had to scratch and claw for each round, which is fine, and I'm okay with that. But it would be nice to, rack up some wins and hedge your bet more so for a potential bad day or something out of your hands.
All right, Steven, go ahead.
Steven Toronto, CBS Sports. Chase, now that we've had 2 races in Nashville, where exactly does this race rank among the competitors in terms of races that are coveted and that drivers want to win? Obviously, Nashville doesn't really have the recent history in NASCAR since there was a long gap between the 1980s and last year. So it's not necessarily like the Southern 500, the 600 in Charlotte, what have you, but it's pretty quickly become a destination race. There's a lot of hype around it. Obviously, the market's big, kind of like Las Vegas is almost, and obviously everyone also wants the Gibson guitar when you win this race. So where exactly does it rank?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what your personal thoughts are on the city or whatever, but I've enjoyed coming to Nashville. It's been one of my favorite towns for a number of years, and have raced at the fairgrounds and had some special memories over there. So, yeah, it's special to me because of that, but I don't really know where it ranks amongst everyone. For me, every win is important and special to me because they're really hard to get. I don't take any of them for granted, so they're all big, in my opinion. They're too hard to win, to not appreciate them, in a pretty high regard.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Jared Haas with FrontStretch.com. Before the 2022 season, you had 0 wins on concrete. Now you won at Dover and Nashville. What, with the next-gen setup and concrete tracks, have you kind of found that you found this recent success on concrete tracks?
To be honest with you, I don't know that it has anything to do with the next-gen thing. I feel like we've had good runs in the past at Bristol and Dover, and not necessarily here, but, at least at Bristol and Dover, to where we've had shots at winning and, haven't. But, look, you get the right day, the right circumstance, and the right car balance, and everything goes your way, you can, I feel like our team can have a shot. Unfortunately, today was that way for us, and we were able to get it done.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, any additional questions? All right, we're going to go to follow-ups. We'll grab one from Jenna and then follow-ups for Dustin and Nate, and we'll wrap there. All right, Jenna, go ahead.
Back off, Nate. Chase, how much say, thought, anything do you have in staying out or pitting on that last caution?
I mean, I let Alan do his thing. He lets me do my thing, so I'm gonna let him do his. And just have confidence in that. It doesn't do me any good to not. When I start questioning his decisions, I feel like is when we start going down a road that is not favorable for success. So he's had a lot of respect for me and let me do my job and let me approach things a pretty unique way and kind of be me. So I've always respected him in return and let him do his thing and just had confidence in whatever that decision is.
And when you walked in, he was answering a question about how, one, he keeps the team motivated and the driver motivated during those long weather delays. He said because the car had been so off at the start that the team was no problem, but that he did need to have a talk with you. What do you do during the delays, and how did that talk go between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, it was straightforward. I mean, I think, really we just talked about our balance. I mean, honestly, we just talked about where we were at the start of the day, what we did in practice on Friday, how we landed in the position we landed in to start the event, why we chose that, and why it wasn't working. And we tried to diagnose that to the best of our abilities, make a decision on which way we wanted to go, and we did that. And fortunately, it was the right decision. So just had dialogue about the car. I feel like when you get into those situations or whatever it may be, look, if it's not going to make you go any faster, it's probably not worth talking about. And talking about those things and how we ended up where we did is a fruitful thing to do in that time period. So that's what we did. I think that's probably what a lot of people do. It wasn't anything spectacular or really special, but we were able to just kind of talk through some of that and go back in a direction that worked for us. And fortunately, the condition changing and our adjustments ended up in a really good spot. No, I felt okay. I at the beginning of the race, no. I mean, I felt like we were really, really off. And then after we had our penalty, like I was, or I'm sorry, yeah, whatever it was, yes, yeah, our extended stay on pit road. How about that? Whatever. We started in the back. So after we started in the back, and I was able to run some different lanes that I hadn't been able to do throughout the day. At that point, I felt like, okay, we have something to work with again. Our car is driving like I remember it driving on Friday, and from there we just kind of went to work and tried to execute the event the best we could. Yep.
All right, now that Jenna's got the non-penalty confirmed.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, I'm fine with it. So after the race, Chase.
Same difference, right? We started in the back.
Yeah, it's miscue, whatever. Kurt Busch was really beating himself up about the last restart. He said he kind of went soft. He wished he had thrown some fenders. Were you expecting a little bit more? Did it surprise you that he didn't kind of mix it up, or could he have even mixed it up in that position?
I mean, I feel like you're always going to look back and, want to do something a little different. But, I feel like Kurt and I race each other with a lot of respect. And obviously we're going for the win. We're going to be aggressive. I thought he was. We went off into turn one and we're both sliding, up the track. And then at that point I got positioned on him off of two. And then from there, I was just trying to manage my lanes, and if he was going to go in a lane that I thought might be really advantageous to him, I probably would have shut it off, on him anyway. But no, I thought, we raced each other with respect, raced hard, and when that on those restarts, when that one guy gets free, it's going to be very difficult for that second place guy to time up a run without a mistake or something on a short run like that to the end. So, I thought he did a good job, and it was respectful. And from my end, I don't really know what else you can ask for there.
All right, Dustin, go ahead.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Chase, with about 40 to go on that restart with the 18, you were on the inside. He chose the outside. He had the lane choice, and you were able to get by him. What were you able to do, or can you take me through that, and what worked for you at that point to be able to take the lead and take control of the race at that point?
Yeah, the 18 did it to the 19, a restart prior to that. So I felt like the opportunity was there to do it. If the circumstances go your way, unfortunately they did. So, once we got the lead there, it was just trying to control my gap to him, run my race, manage my tires the best I could, and not lose the lead. And then hope that a caution didn't come out. And I hate that it did, but it did, and fortunately it worked out for us.
So then, after that last caution, before the pit stops, were you already thinking of what you would be doing, and I'm assuming you would have taken the high side and had the 18 on the inside, or if he had stayed out, it would have been the two of you on the front row again.
Yeah.
Were you already thinking about how you would have played, or would you gone to the outside for the restart?
Yeah, I was thinking the outside. I felt like there was a difference in used tires versus fresh tires. I got the lead from him on fresh tires. He got the lead from Martin on fresh tires too. So that was the reasoning and why I did what I did.
So how surprised were you to see those cars pit behind you then?
I wasn't. Typically they're going to do the exact opposite of what you're doing. I feel like, everybody gave Allen a lot of crap for the 600 a few years ago or whatever, but like those people behind you are going to do the exact opposite of what you do. I don't know why that doesn't get through everyone's head, especially at a racetrack that has some tire wear. So you're in a very vulnerable position at that point. And two, like if the caution had come out 2 or 3 more times, we probably wouldn't have won because those guys would have kept cycling themselves forward. So say you get a caution twice and before you get the white flag, and next thing you know, you're sitting with a guy right behind you with 4 fresh tires with 1 lap on them, you know. So then at that point, you're wishing you pitted. So those situations are just impossible to get right, you know, and you knowing how the outcome is going to go is absolutely it's unachievable. So you try to make the best decision you can make and hope the cards go your way.
Last thing is, how comfortable are you feeling with this car? Certainly we've seen, you know, nobody's really been able to be consistently strong too many weeks. Obviously you had 5 straight top 10s at one point, which is the longest streak of the season. What's your comfort level with this car and trying to build the consistency, and how is that, you know, how are you dealing with it when it's different as opposed to maybe past years where you maybe had a higher comfort level?
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference is that the line to get it right is more thin than I think it has been in the past. So just finding comfort in living in a tighter tolerance is difficult to do. And even though some days you might be comfortable, it's still really easy to step outside that. I mean, look at Charlotte. I felt like I was, you know, not being very aggressive, and next thing you know, I made a mistake and hit the wall, and our day's over. You know, I mean, it wasn't like at that point in time you're trying to do anything crazy in a 600-mile race, or at least I didn't think I was. And you can get yourself in a lot of trouble in a hurry in these things. So just trying to figure out where you can live and live there comfortably, and how to ratchet up your performance at the right time, if that is, you know, something inside your car that you can pull out of it. And if it's not, taking what's there for you and not driving over your head, because like I say, this thing is pretty unforgiving in a lot of ways.